Hello guys, and welcome to a very, very special episode of the After School Special. I'm Ian.
I'm Avik.
And this is our Oscars roundtable. We have here our two buddies, Reed and Alex. Introduce yourselves, guys.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I have seen probably maybe one of these films.
And I'm Reed. I'm big into movies, but Ian is definitely a lot more knowledgeable than I.
Just to preface my role in this, I'd like to say that I'm coming in with, optimistically, we'll call it the layman's perspective.
Like, you're appealing to our middle school demographic. You have seen Inside Out, and that's about it. So,
Right.
We're good. Glad we can talk about Inside Out and then move on to things like The Danish Girl.
So we're going to be going over just our general thoughts. This is going to be very free-flowing. Just one of our conversations that we typically have over lunch.
Yep.
So I guess we can start off by Best Picture and just kind of go from there. But
Gonna start off with the big one. I like it.
So this is probably one of the more highly contested categories.
Yeah.
The favorite right now is The Revenant, but I think there's a good argument to be made that, you know, something like The Big Short or Spotlight could come up and.
Yeah, there's the thing is like about I actually really like the Best Picture nominees for this year. Just because I feel like it could go like a lot of ways. You have Spotlight, which is like just awesome. I think I don't know if I'd call it the dark horse, but I mean I might. Like it's about, you know, it's like a journalistic topic. It's kind of like it's very Oscar. You know?
It appeals to the 60-year-old white male Oscar judge.
Or broke college student that couldn't see the movie but wanted to.
Now, my thoughts on this category, if the film Brooklyn is anything like the highly acclaimed television show Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I have to say it probably doesn't have a shot. But from what I've heard about The Big Short, that was a phenomenal film.
A really big cast. A lot of
Yes,
Steve
absolutely. The acting in that was phenomenal.
Steve Carell before.
Yeah. Oh man, like Steve Carell. What was the last thing he did? That movie with Channing Tatum, where like he was like a crazy wrestling coach.
Oh yeah, I can't.
He's not Michael Scott anymore. Like that
No,
guy's
no.
like really trying to go
That was
for
a
it.
serious role.
Yeah.
And I heard he was really good in that.
He's so hard to take seriously. Like, I mean, you've seen his escapades. You know, he's one of those people, in my mind, like, Steve Carell will always be one of those actors who you can only see as one role.
I don't see it like
Yeah,
that.
so
I'm starting to get out of that. I can definitely see that though.
For context, Ian just finished a
Yes.
full binge of all 9 seasons of The Office.
I will say though that after seeing The Big Short, pretty much while I was in the middle of watching The Office, which is super weird for me to be voicing my opinion on this. I will say though, after seeing Big Short, you can absolutely see how Steve Carell can do serious stuff.
Yeah.
His acting in that movie was incredible.
And who really would have thought that he would be that kind of actor? But can you talk about The Big Short actually? Because you saw it. I heard that there was like I didn't expect this when I saw the trailers, but there's lots of like breaking what is it, the fourth?
Oh yeah, so they did an excellent job of tying in the real story of kind of what went on in the crash, and then tying in by breaking the fourth wall how everything happened. And there was a lot of really good narration, a lot of kind of direct speaking.
Was there one guy that did all the narrations, or was it like?
No, there was. It was
Was there who's Ryan Gosling?
It was Ryan Gosling. Okay. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he did the narration, and then whenever he was doing that sort of fourth wall exposition, he would break, but then he would introduce other celebrities to talk about it and give examples.
Wait, like a doc kind of thing?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's really cool. I need to see that.
This is what I'm going to be really mad if I don't see. Like,
Yeah.
It would just, all of a sudden, the screen would just stop. The scene would end. Ryan Gosling would start speaking. He'd sometimes be on screen. He sometimes wouldn't be on screen. And then he'd say, to prove this point, we brought in Miley Cyrus. And then Miley Cyrus is on the screen, and she's about the economy. And they did, as a college student who is not an economics major, I can say that I have a much greater understanding of the stock market crash because of that movie, because they did such an amazing job of explaining everything.
That's so cool.
All that said, do we think The Revenant deserves
I was just
this?
about to say, you guys all kind of had a hard-on for The Revenant. That's
No. Don't,
I had an immediate hard-on, and it's kind of like...
It's Ian's hard-on, like,
well, no, because
grew, like, into my space.
So we're all semi-flaccid about The Revenant.
I'm definitely maybe like a half chub now. But like I still Iñárritu is gonna get Best Director.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna get Best Cinematography, although my boy Roger Deakins deserves some acclaim for Sicario.
Shush. I disagree with this point so much.
We'll get to that. I like this.
But I don't know. I feel like this could go one of two ways. Either the Academy just feels really, really bad for Leo, or they're like, this guy, let's just go. I could see Spotlight winning very easily.
Yeah.
Spotlight's, I mean, I think you mentioned before, Spotlight could very well be the underdog.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very Oscar-y
Again,
movie.
great cast.
Yeah.
Like, solid story. And the way they told stories is probably good. But, like, so the thing about The Revenant for me is, like, I think absolutely this movie should get, like, cinematography. It was awesome. Like, some of the shots they did, it's like, how did you just do that? That kind of stuff. But in terms of Best Picture, I think there's a lot to a picture, like, story. There's one quick storyline in this movie. It's just like, all right, this guy needs to find the killer of his son.
And he doesn't even really find him. The killer comes back.
Yeah, right? It's like...
Spoilers, guys!
Well, this is the Oscar round. So, I don't... That's what's really throwing me off about this is, like, there's just so much more to a picture than actually, like, just the acting and, like, the cinematography, which is why I don't think I would give it to The Revenant.
Yeah. I could easily see, like, Leo winning Best Actor, Iñárritu winning Best Direction, and then it winning Best Cinematography, but still not winning Best Picture.
That sounds reasonable.
Which is why you
I have to agree with that.
I could definitely see that.
Like, that's why it's surprising that, like, Mad Max Fury Road is, like, even up for Best Picture.
Stop.
No. I'm saying it's surprising that it's up for it. It's because it's, like, the storyline is so... It's kind of easy, but, like, again, cinematography is great. Acting was incredible.
I agree with that. I was going to make sure you weren't, like, coming on with
I'm
a
not
Mad
gonna
Max
be
should win.
like, let's get an action movie to win Best Picture.
Okay. People are going to disagree with me here. I'm not saying it's going to win Best Picture, but I think it should be higher on everyone's list than it is right now.
I mean, it's nominated for Best Picture.
Mad Max.
Oh,
Mad Max was absolutely my favorite movie of the year.
Me too. I agree with you on that. But
And, I mean, like, I liked The Martian. Don't get me wrong. I really liked The Martian. I thought Mad Max was miles ahead.
I think something like originality should also be included in this. Like, Martian, you had something to, you essentially had someone write your script for it. I'm not going to say, like, it was that easy.
Well, I mean, it's based off a book. It's
Well, Mad Max is a reboot.
Yeah.
So
No. It's a reboot, but, like, you have, like...
But the amount that it broke off from the original trilogy is almost its own thing now.
Although, if you're going to go after The Revenant for not really, like, having the picture aspect of a picture...
Like the story?
Like, the story...
Okay, but hold on. Let's be
Mad
real.
Max is just them traveling, like, going down a road.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Back.
It's like,
If we're talking about originality and complexity of plot, right? So Spotlight is, for all intents and purposes, almost non-fiction, right?
Yeah,
Martian based off a book. Mad Max is linear, like plot-wise and literally. It's a road, right?
Yeah.
And then like
turn around,
the Revenant, like we talk, it's bilinear. The Revenant is, we've talked about it, kind of a simple plot. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is as complex as it gets.
Are you making a case for Room, a movie you haven't seen?
Just as a reminder, I have seen none of these movies, so I'm completely unbiased.
But let's go with the underdog, Bridge of Spies.
Not gonna win. Shush.
Because they have Mr. Oscar himself. All right, they have what's his name? How did I just forget his name?
Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Like
And
always,
Spielberg.
and Spielberg.
Have you seen the movie yourself?
It's not going to win, but I could see all the 60-year-old white males being like, Steven Spielberg's our boy. Like,
Also, if you guys can hear my keyboard clicking, that is every time I am Googling one of the movies we're talking about.
If you're on the Oscar list on the website, you can like they're all hyperlinked.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Of course. So I don't know, like Big Short. I don't know if it'll win.
Are we all putting in votes now?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Spotlight. I think Spotlight's going to take this.
I'm also going to go with Spotlight.
I think it's a close call between Revenant and Spotlight.
I'll give it to The Big Short.
Cool. All right.
There you go. Moving on. I think everybody wants to know, is Leo going to get his first Oscar?
Oh, here we go. I think
This
this is a
is the
big
talk.
topic for like the
This
entire
is, yes.
like.
I feel like at this point, if Leo didn't get the Oscar, it would be kind of the most significant snub of the
Yes,
whole.
I definitely agree.
Because like it's talked about enough now, and like The Revenant has been cast as being so close to like it's such a legitimate contender in every category it's in. It would almost feel like they were just spitting in his face if they didn't give it to him.
He's such a big favorite at this point that I definitely agree.
As much as we like give the whole like typical Oscar movie shit, like The Revenant could be one of those. You have hard like like hard acting is in terms of like this guy put in a ton of work for this role. Like this is it. Like it's all building up for the Oscar, and like same with like the Danish Girl and Eddie Redmayne. But like I don't know, man. I really like Leo for best actor.
You guys think at this point Leo's just making movies, like just trying to play to the Oscar selection
From what
committee?
I've heard, like he just doesn't care. Like he doesn't want.
Does it like all right? How could like legitimately, seriously? How could you not care?
Do you see the women he is?
The dude, like his
He is
photograph,
getting
like
this point. I
on
don't think
escapades
it-
in the middle of the ocean on his yacht, which is like just like all these women. They're like, Leo, hey Leo, notice me, Leo.
But he's empty
I threw up
inside.
this morning, Leo.
I think it's safe to say. So Michael Fassbender is probably out. Steve Jobs is supposed to be terrible.
Ashton Kutcher, hashtag one true jobs.
I think
I like Fassbender.
Matt Damon.
I thought he did a very good job,
think
but I
he
don't
probably
think he's.
did.
I don't think he's gonna win.
The way I see it, I mean, if there was a silver medal, he would take silver medal to Leo.
No, Eddie Redmayne would take
Eddie
Superman.
Redmayne. Oh, Cranston.
Oh,
I think Cranston's could be the dark horse.
He's very. I
The
agree
one
with that
thing going
totally.
against him was Trumbo wasn't a fantastic movie.
But that's not the category.
But- exactly. And he has the history. I mean, all the acclaim that he's.
yeah.
Now, hold on, just for some
It's
context, have you guys seen Breaking Bad?
Yes.
You've all seen Breaking Bad. Okay,
Not
so
finished it, I don't care.
I am a staunch like anti-Break. I don't dislike Breaking Bad.
you seen it?
I haven't seen an episode of Breaking
So you
Bad.
can't be anti. You're just like I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think personally, I think anyone who's like a Bryan Cranston fan is like a little biased in my opinion.
Or they watch Malcolm in the Middle.
Or that.
I like Bryan Cranston. I think he's a good actor. Because like people are like, oh, it's all Breaking Bad hype.
I mean, he's definitely very talented.
This is a totally different.
Oh,
role.
I
This isn't,
acknowledge
like-
he's a talented actor for sure.
Yeah, this isn't White. What's his last name? What's his first name? Like in the Breaking Bad.
Walter White.
This isn't Walter White. This is Trumbo. Like, it's just a completely different role. So I think people should like give him more credit for like why he's receiving all this this praise for this movie. So I like it. I just really. What do you guys think of like? I don't know about method acting, if I would call it that. Because I don't think Leo's a method
And
actor.
the debate of physical acting.
Physical
Yeah.
acting, as opposed to like what Cranston did, which is more like traditional, like less overacting kind of stuff. I think that's really what it comes down to. I would put Eddie Redmayne in the category with what Leo did. Honestly, I think if you think that Eddie Redmayne should win over Leo, you should also acknowledge that he essentially went through the same process of like physical acting.
Yeah, but then you also have to think, going back to your kind of like Bryan Cranston, like who's racked up the most kind of acclaim at this point. If you're putting Eddie Redmayne and Leo on that same level of having put in that kind of physical effort, but then it comes down to who has the most acclaim. Eddie Redmayne is not on the same level of acclaim as Leo by any means.
Dare I say he has more Oscars than Leo DiCaprio?
Okay, but how many times has Leonardo DiCaprio starred in a movie where you have said he's winning an Oscar for that, and then he just didn't?
Well, actually, this is the first time I've said he should win the Oscar for it.
Are you being serious?
Yeah,
you don't think he
100%
should have won an Oscar for any of his other
Was
performances?
he nominated for
I think-
Django?
Yes.
Yeah, he was
I
Okay.
love Django.
Well,
I'm
that
gonna
was
look up
that was a
who was-
supporting role, right?
Yeah,
When did-
but he
he
should have won it
He
for
should have won
that.
it. Also, Wolf of Wall Street, I think he should have had. He had a pretty good chance.
He had
I
a
think he
good
should have
chance
had it
at
for
Wolf
it.
of Wall Street. I think it's just what I liked about Wolf of Wall Street is that it's just like what Leo did for me is like it's such a crazy story, but then you have to realize this shit like actually happened to someone. That's what was cool about that acting. But like at the same time, I feel like you could have put in Ryan Gosling for that role, and maybe you could have done like a comparable job.
Something I really liked was, I forget where I heard this, but there was a debate where somebody was talking about if you had switched Leo and Matt Damon's roles, like if Matt Damon had been in The Revenant and Leo had been in The Martian, like who would have done a better job?
I actually think Matt Damon would have done a better job in The Revenant than
I agree.
Leo would have done The Martian.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah.
So I think that was a decent argument for Matt Damon. I don't think he's going to win it, but I think that was an interesting way to look at it.
I think, if you're looking at it that way, Leo definitely is kind of more of a, I don't want to say pretty boy actor, but like he's very good at doing solid, harsh roles, and then he can flip-flop that to do kind of crazy roles. Where Matt Damon, I think, kind of fills that midpoint, where Leo is opposite ends of the spectrum. He can be like really crazy, really fun and energetic, or he can be like really super gritty like he was in The Revenant. I think Matt Damon's more in that middle ground where he's kind of between really, really fun and really, really gritty.
Yeah, he's really versatile.
Yeah.
Hey, I got kind of a random question. What do you think it is about Leo DiCaprio that makes him so good at playing historical characters? Like from
Like
a
what?
different time
Oh,
period.
so like
period.
Django.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's a period thing. Is it?
I mean,
I think he's
I mean,
just a very good
sometimes
actor.
people don't
Yeah.
do a
He's
great
just a good
job of
actor.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Like I know this is kind of like a quick side tangent, but like I'm a little scared for Tom Hardy's new show where he plays like it's like a
Taboo.
taboo where it's like kind of set. What is it like?
It's
15th century.
15th, 16th century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That like I think Leo could do a better job. Like,
Well, Tom Hardy was good in
Oh,
Revenant.
oh
Yeah.
my God! Did he get anything for that? Did he get?
Yeah, he's nominated for Best
supporting
Supporting Actor.
Okay, good.
but
we'll
he
talk
has a
about that.
lot of competition. I mean,
Anyway, so back to like this whole like Leo thing. I think Matt Damon wouldn't. I just don't think Leo would do a very good job in The Martian. Like he's just not a comedic actor. I don't think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although there's an argument. I mean, I think The Martian would have been a little bit different had Leo been in. I mean, this is obviously all hypothetical, but it probably would have been more of a Castaway kind of thing where
It wouldn't
you
have had the same.
The first and third acts involve a little bit of the back home, but I don't think there would have been a huge focus on like the NASA storyline.
Yeah.
It would have been more of like just Leo stranded in Mars trying to make potatoes from his own.
I also don't think it would have had the same kind of mood that The Martian with Matt Damon did. I think.
Agreed. Yeah,
I think that
would
if
have been a little more bleak.
yeah,
Yeah, it would've been
absolutely.
way more
Because
bleak,
the Martian, it was like Matt Damon's just, I'm stranded, I'm gonna die. He's like, oh no, wait, I can just again make potatoes from my own shit. I'm fine.
It was
like,
it was
also, like,
very
it was like-
hopeful.
Just
Yeah, and it was
the way Matt Damon does stuff, like it's just like, oh, okay, he could have fun with this. But like if Leo's in a dire situation, like The Revenant, you just like instantly go to like, oh, this man is going to go crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like,
And it's not fun. It's kind of like, oh, this is like a psychological experiment. But with Matt Damon, it's like, oh, he's gonna have a little,
put
gonna
it
have a
this
little
way.
fun.
I would like to see Leo in Interstellar or something like that.
Ooh.
ooh,
That
okay,
would have been
Places
interesting.
like
that would
Yeah.
be interesting.
That would have been interesting. Though Matthew McConaughey killed in that. I'm not gonna
Oh,
like.
he was incredible.
The reconnaissance.
I went back and I looked at like when Leo was nominated. So for leading role for Wolf of Wall Street, he went up against Christian Bale for American Hustle,
Oh,
Matthew
fantastic
McConaughey for
movie.
Dallas Buyers Club, like, and I can't pronounce his name, but the 12 Years a Slave guy.
Yeah.
Like that's so hard for you
Yeah.
to win that. Like I can't. And when you compare 12 Years a Slave to Wolf of Wall Street, like what do you think is really going to win that? Like, and I see here for The Revenant that he has just the best fighting chance, and if not the most like deserved win for this time.
So we're gonna put in our votes. I think he's gonna take it.
I think he'll
Leo's
take it.
gonna get his first Oscar.
I think he's probably going to take it.
I'll just agree with you guys.
Good.
Do
Alright.
you want to hit supporting actor real quick?
Yeah,
let's do it.
gladly.
So we have Christian Bale for Big Short. I think as of now he's the favorite.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, he
Yeah, he
was
was-
so unbelievably good in that movie. Words cannot express how impressed I was with that acting.
Let's read off the other ones to compare.
So then we have Tom Hardy from The Revenant, who, I don't know. He was good, but I don't know if he's.
it's
Oscar
good, but it's not
worthy.
very challenging.
Then we have Mark Ruffalo, Spotlight. Some guy from Burgess Spotlight, we don't know.
no.
And then we have Sylvester Stallone from Creed, who
Ooh, this is
I
interesting.
know we save our votes for the end, but I think he's gonna get my vote. He was surprisingly really, really good in Creed.
I can see that. Like
He
for
was
sure.
really good. He kind of got rid of the end of the Rocky movies, the last couple. He
Last-
had
last 12.
like that kind of thing. But he had a powerful storyline in Creed, and he was really good.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna agree because like this, I think the supporting role like nominees, there's more like room to play with here. You could have a storyline where Stallone gets it. You could have like kind of maybe more streamlined one where Mark Ruffalo gets it for Spotlight.
I think it's a 3-horse race between Bale, Ruffalo, and Stallone.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that.
Now,
News.
for some context, I have seen none of these films. I have not seen Creed, and I have also seen none of the Rocky films. However, from what I know about Sylvester Stallone, I just have a lot of trouble taking him seriously. I don't know if it's his face or his voice, but like, I know you guys all loved Creed, and you guys were really excited for Creed. And despite the fact that I don't have a vote for the winner here, I'm just not going to lean towards Sylvester Stallone.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say this. I would think like that's totally cool for the roundtable. I think in terms of like when it comes down to Oscars, I hope that the people that watched it and that will vote on the Oscar,
if they watched it,
could set aside their like they could suspend their disbelief when they see.
This wasn't again, like I said, this wasn't like your late Rocky Sylvester Stallone. He legitimately put forth a really good performance in this.
Yeah, this wasn't super bad Jonah Hill. This was Moneyball Jonah Hill.
Metaphors abound.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of room to play with here. You really liked Christian Bale in The Big Short, right?
Oh, that acting was unbelievable.
What was his role? Like
He was playing.
obviously supporting.
See, the thing about that is that The Big Short's divided up into different plot lines. So you can say Christian Bale is a supporting actor, but he did such an incredible job that for a big point in the movie, I thought he was the lead.
Really?
Yeah. His stuff does come in and out. His scenes come in and out. But he did such a good job that when I came out of the theater, I was like astounded that was Christian Bale. Because, Christian Bale is Batman.
Isn't he a method guy? Is he a method guy? No, he's not method, but he like...
I don't necessarily think he's method.
But he like loses and gains
transforms.
weight.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys seen the Mechanist?
Yeah.
That was insane.
I haven't seen it.
He dropped down to like 120 pounds.
I forgot what... He was like 80 or 60 pounds.
He was like a
something
skeleton.
Like
I don't know if it might have been less than that. But then he goes from that to like American Hustle where he was like 230.
He gained a shit ton of weight for American Hustle. He was great in American Hustle. American Hustle was awesome.
Yeah, that was really good.
So who are we voting for here?
I'm going for Stallone. I think he deserves it. I want to see his speech.
Yeah.
That
would be a cool speech. That's true.
And the
what if he goes?
A character
if he
from
does
Rocky,
the Rocky thing?
Apollo Creed's trainer from the Rocky movies just passed away a couple days ago.
Oh shit! That could. Like the Antonin Scalia thing, this could very much affect the voting process. I like. Okay, I'm gonna go agree with Reed here. I'm gonna say Christian Bale for Big Short.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Christian Bale too, just because from what I've heard, that movie was so good because it had a lot of different characters that could prop up that storyline, and I just have a gut feeling that Christian Bale was one of them.
But if I were a betting man, I would go with Mark Ruffalo's Spotlight. It just seems like the easy one to go with.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because it's such an Oscar movie, and
it appeals to the Academy, and I think his acting appealed to the Academy.
Yeah, absolutely. I like Mark Ruffalo.
He is a 40-1 underdog right now.
40 in the betting?
Really?
Yes, he is.
Wow. What's Christian Bale at right now?
He is 13-1.
Well,
and Sylvester Stallone is.
He's a heavy favorite.
Cool, man. I'm excited for this.
This is a really interesting category. It's really diverse.
To play with here. Okay.
Move on. This is going to be a short one.
Actress in a supporting role?
No, we're going to a leading role.
Leading role?
It's Brie Larson.
Oh, yeah.
For Room. I mean, I still really need to see this movie, just from what I've heard. And you can just read the synopsis and you're like, oh, like,
yeah.
I know nothing about The Room. I'm going to be honest. I was completely out of the loop.
I've only watched reviews on YouTube. I'll put that for The Room.
Well, you still know more than me.
But, I mean, I don't see anybody contending here. I mean, Jennifer Lawrence, I saw Joy. I'm a big David O. Russell fan. This was not a great movie.
Yeah.
But was Jennifer Lawrence great, though?
She was fine.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
She wasn't that great.
She was not that great.
She had moments, but no.
Formally, as we would say, Shiite.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I would just not give it to her.
Yeah.
I think she's maybe the least appealing of all these actresses. Brie Larson, of course, is the most appealing in many ways of all the
See, I was not able to put... So, like, not only am I not a movie guy, I'm, like, not even an actor and actress guy. Like, I don't know who most of these people are. So after a little bit of Google research, my main takeaway from looking at Brie Larson's face is that, like, some people have resting face. She just has, like, resting, like, face of disapproval. Like, what? She just... look at these pictures. She just looks at you, and it's like, it looks like you just did something wrong, and you know you should be guilty about it. It's like when you're a kid and you like spilled Cheerios everywhere, and your mom comes in and you're like, I know.
Well, because this is not a visual podcast, let me picture this for you. She's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
Okay, no.
I thought I was the most beautiful woman you've ever seen.
I will contest that in a moment when we go into actress in the supporting role, because Alicia Vikander, my lord.
Well, here's the deal. She should also get the Oscar because she was in Scott Pilgrim. Okay.
Oh,
And
please.
then, additionally, she was in Community. So let's just put this out there. She's gonna get this Oscar. Moving on.
So actress, we have Hateful Eight. I did not see that movie. I know. Alex.
This is the movie I saw this year. This was my one annual movie. So I was swayed enough by Django to go see Hateful Eight. I saw
good.
I love Django. I'm a huge Django fanboy. But I saw the Hateful Eight. I'm not a Tarantino guy. This is only the second Tarantino movie I've ever seen. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit of a letdown coming off of Django. I love that time period. I love some of Tarantino's cinematography, and it was a cool movie. Like, I enjoyed it, but I had slightly higher hopes. However, there were a lot of really, really interesting characters in there, but the one Jennifer Jason Leigh who's nominated for actress in a supporting role. I just didn't think she was the strongest character.
She
in
played
that.
like a crazy. Well,
Yeah, she plays a crazed prisoner, and there's all these instances in the movie where the guy who's taking her to hang is oh yeah, they're oh, you shouldn't treat a lady like that. And he's like, she's not a lady. And, the whole thing is that she's absolutely crazy. And I get it. I get that it takes a lot to play someone that crazy, but I don't know, she just didn't leave an impression with me.
Mm-hmm. Also,
can we give claps to that?
Yeah.
The one movie he saw, he just absolutely killed right there. Let's go.
That is the only. So take me seriously on that one. But if you ever feel inclined to take me seriously with anything else I have to say about a movie that's not Inside Out, just stop taking me seriously. Don't feel guilty about that.
I think we can kind of count out Kate Winslet because I don't think Steve Jobs
Yeah,
did anything.
no,
anything.
nada.
I want to go on a tangent right now.
Okay.
Can you please pull up Alicia Vikander on your Google Images?
I did the same.
So I want to take 2 minutes to go Alicia Vikander versus Brie Larson right now.
Every
Brie
single
Larson.
time I pull up Alicia Vikander, all I get is Eddie Redmayne as a woman. Damn. Okay.
All right, now hold on.
Thank you.
Alicia
Also,
Vikander,
but not
categorically, Northern Europeans absolutely killing the game. Male and female.
Yes,
Let me make
agreed.
that clear.
Yeah.
They just all have fantastic features. As someone who is partially Northern European, I'm a little biased. But that being said, anyone from Scandinavia has my vote.
Also, she was the robot from Ex Machina. And that movie was amazing.
Damn.
Good call.
And she's just gorgeous.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not really into
Pretty good.
Robot girls. So. But no, for real.
Now, that being said, maybe, I was thinking for a second, maybe we're looking into this a little too much.
She's
Maybe
very Posh Spice.
that, I feel that.
Okay.
But maybe we're maybe we're judging her on her attractiveness too much. That doesn't have anything to do with the role.
Well,
now,
no,
let's
that-
remember,
this does not-
this has nothing to
but
do
hold on,
with
what
it.
I was going to say is, let's remember who the Oscars committee is. And yes, it does.
All white males.
I will say Brie Larson is a very attractive woman. The resting disapproval face turns me off.
I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's
That
very
must be a
present.
thing,
Has
'cause
a resting
it more or less
she has
turns
a
me
resting
on.
intrigue face. Look at how interested she is. She's just
I don't know. Look at every other photo, man. She's just. Okay, that's fine. This one is probably very much a. Do we give it to Trumbo or do we give it to Revenant kind of thing that we've got
Yeah.
going on?
I'm gonna go with Alicia Vikander.
Yeah.
Is no one bringing up Rachel McAdams?
I was gonna say Rachel McAdams. I was just gonna say we shouldn't move on from this because she was really good. Well, not only is she very hot, but we're talking about Spotlight and she had a big role in that. She doesn't she play I guess in this way she was surrounded by in a guys club.
Yeah.
And she just pulls.
And
pulled
she
her and-
does
I
her
mean, that
own.
always makes the female roles stand out so much more.
Yeah, because this is as
I mean
we
that
said,
in a
it's
good way.
nonfiction. So
Yeah.
if she plays it well, she's done it justice. So yeah, I could totally go. I'd actually probably if I had to
Yeah,
bet on
I
I
can
would say
see that.
Rachel McAdams. But also the Alicia Vikander role is that's a
Again,
hard one to play.
all
Yeah.
objectifying womenness
Yeah.
aside, that was a very critically acclaimed movie, and that was a tough role.
Absolutely between Alicia Vikander
Yeah.
and Rachel McAdams, and if I had to vote, I would give mine to Rachel McAdams.
Also,
I
side note,
agree.
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams, I think, is going to take this one.
Going along with just for a quick second with Rooney Mara,
Yeah.
she's not going to get just because she's not Kate Mara.
Yep.
This is the
Yeah.
first time I'm learning there are two.
Have you seen House of Cards?
Oh,
Nope.
so good.
Yeah.
We might need a.
We'll do that. Yeah.
We'll do. Yeah.
We're on the same page here.
Yes.
Okay.
All right,
So yeah,
yeah,
that's all right. Or not bets. What are we calling it?
I'm going with Vikander.
Picks.
I'm going to McAdams.
I'm also going McAdams.
I'll just take McAdams because I think all the time, I think we predicted this before, but Spotlight is just gonna have a bunch of huge underdog wins. It's so Oscar-y.
It is.
Yeah, so is Danger Girl.
So I think we mentioned directing probably going to be Inarritu. Do we think there's going to be any
I'm going underdog
Mad Max?
George Miller.
Oh, wow.
And if George Miller doesn't win Best Director, then what's his face?
Inarritu?
No,
Big Short guy?
no, Inarritu's gonna win it if George Miller doesn't get it.
Yeah, I think Inarritu
Absolutely.
does.
But if George Miller doesn't get it, John Seale's getting Best Cinematography. And that's a bold prediction
think
on my part.
I'm going to be very biased. I want to be a cinematographer, but I think this is one of the best categories just in terms of there are 3 or 4 movies who could win this easily. Revenant was beautifully shot. Mad Max was incredible. Even you have Roger Deakins with Sicario, which was one of my favorite movies, but it was just incredibly shot. Carol, I don't think it's going to anything. Hateful Eight, I guess you can make a case, but I think there's 3 that can easily win this right
Can Alex say something about The Hateful Eight, the only movie I've seen? So I thought The Hateful Eight, just to advocate for The Hateful Eight, I thought that because the majority of the film takes place in one room, it was easy to forget that when you were watching that movie.
Yeah, I have to
There were some really cool shots outside too, and I mean it's all in the snowy hills of Wyoming, so it was really cool either way. But I completely forgot that it took place in literally one room, the whole movie, because they're snowed in this cabin, and I mean they did some really cool things to make it still interesting visually.
Yeah. So cinematography, I really liked Mad Max cinematography. I know,
it was,
this is one of my, if you listen to the pod, it's one of my favorite movies, and so,
it's kind of in your face.
yeah.
That's the
it
whole
is.
point,
good.
and that's what makes it good.
Right.
Yeah,
But,
it was really, really good.
There's a lot of things that, The Revenant did that, might... So, okay, when you're saying in your face for Mad Max, yeah, there's, some obvious shots that you should have, but I think what I liked about Mad Max is, the way that they played their practical stunts with their cinematography.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
thought really, really well. Yeah. And that's why I really like Mad Max for cinematography, but also The Revenant. That there's some shots that you're just so mind blown. How did you just do that? And
It was just
And then you have very large landscape shots, which are amazing and absolutely beautiful. But if I had to say those could maybe be obvious shots. I don't know how you would do it.
Also, that first
I was just gonna say the first
that could win the Oscar alone. That was incredible.
Yeah, that was too good.
My argument for this is that because Mad Max is an action movie, it relies a lot less on the acting and a lot more on the visuals.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So
That's a really
that being said, I think the cinematography plays in so well in that movie to furthering the story and furthering kind of the action that's going on, that I think that's why it will beat out The Revenant. Because The Revenant is undoubtedly absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Mad Max does a great job of tying in the beauty of the cinematography
Yeah.
with the plot and action that's going on.
I really
in the
like
movie.
that.
Yeah, and until I saw The Revenant, just Mad Max is my favorite shot movie, and I'm gonna agree. I really like that last point you made about the action movie.
My vote's for Mad Max.
Oh, sweet! Let's go!
Yeah.
Let's go! Me too.
I think you guys swayed me. I'm gonna go Mad Max too.
Hey,
I mean, I really do hope Mad Max wins it because I think it deserves it.
really
But
interested in the bad ones.
knowing the Academy, and I hate to say this, I think it's going to wind up going to The Revenant.
yeah.
Besides the point I just made.
Yeah. That's what are they betting on? For Mad
I
Max?
forgot The Revenant existed. Never mind.
Yeah, Revenant's the favorite with Mad Max 8-1 and Sicario 21-1.
Okay.
So it's
So-
gonna be Mad Max to The Revenant, is what we're saying.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, I think again, I'm really biased. Sicario was one of my favorite movies of last year, if not my favorite. But there was one shot that was just incredible.
Bodies.
It was
Yeah.
really good. We're gonna take a little break here. We're gonna come back. We're gonna go with our biggest snubs for Best Picture and maybe Best Actor, and then give our most anticipated movies of next year. We'll be right back. And we're back. We're gonna go over our biggest snubs right now. So for Best Picture, I'm gonna kick it off, and I'm gonna say Creed. So Creed deserved to be nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that in terms of the snub. I'm sure Jada Pinkett Smith would say that concussions should have been nominated for it. But yeah, I have to agree with you. There weren't many movies I'm like, wow, that really should have been nominated this
and
year.
Ryan Coogler for director too.
Oh yeah. In terms of that category for snubs, I don't see any other choice besides Creed for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think though I'm not surprised that it didn't get nominated, only because with the Academy, I think it's very difficult for a sports movie to be nominated.
Oscars so white.
Yeah, but
if we want to talk about this, that's a whole
I think
thing.
we probably should.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it's
worth
the Oscars.
bringing up.
We have to talk about it. Because people are boycotting this year.
That's what the listeners want, Avik.
Like I'll
I have
start
to
us
give
off.
the people what they want.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have to agree. Like this is a real problem. It's not like
for sure.
it's not like there weren't any good black actors this year. It's like there absolutely were. And
Did you see what Michael B. Jordan did? He put on so much
I
muscle.
love that man.
And it's like maybe they had like something against the Fantastic Four, which I understand. But like
I think we all have something against it.
Can we not talk about it? It never existed.
I know, I did.
According
Let's try to
to me.
forget about it again. That's why I drink myself to sleep every night. But no, this isn't even just like a this year thing. It's absolutely a historical problem.
Definitely.
Oh,
It's like
absolutely.
unless a black guy's playing like a slave or like something of that kind is when he'll get nominated.
Yeah.
Fucking
Cuff,
Django,
12 years
and
a
then you have
slave,
12 years a
cuff,
slave.
Django.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? Let's like
Both great movies, but there should be more than
The
that.
Help.
Yeah.
The Help. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
that's
that movie
such a
was
good
great,
point.
but like that's like they always play the same role. I'm peeking on here. I'm sorry. This audience will be super loud. But it's so
It's fine. Get loud, man.
so
Get loud.
ridiculous. Like
hype.
I couldn't believe it. It's not gonna make me like.
It's
It's not gonna make me boycott the Oscars. Mainly because I want to see like Chris Rock.
that's gonna be really interesting.
That dude could pull some some shit that Ricky Gervais does on the Emmys. You know, that guy or like he could get banned tonight, or tomorrow.
He did practice the whole thing with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. I'm really, really interested to see what he's gonna do. I feel bad for any actor or actress sitting in the front row who's white. He's just gonna
He's gonna
Pick
lay
him
it
out.
on.
Who do you think's gonna get destroyed? Like
Who makes an easy time?
Probably
Who's
make
like
a
a
Django
really-
joke with Leo, maybe.
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 Yeah. Who's just like a really white actor? Eddie Redmayne's just
He's just gonna get trashed.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Yup.
People trust Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
We all know my affinity for absurd but slightly realistic historical fiction. Just for some context, anyone who is about to respect me, I'd just like to remind you that my favorite two films are National Treasure 1 and National Treasure 2,
I'm
Book
all
of
out.
Secrets.
I'm all good for that.
However, I was a huge fan of Tom Hanks in the Da Vinci Code and in
very good movie.
Very good
So
movie.
I always think Tom Hanks is someone that I can trust.
Castaway, also one of the my 10 favorite movies.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
We need to fix that.
I didn't see it either, but that
Also-
surprises nobody.
Something that like I'm interested in, like, so obviously this whole Oscars so white has like raised an issue about the Oscars, but even
just-
movies.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's a movie
Yeah,
industry
it's
issue.
an
It's not
industry issue,
necessarily
not just the
It's
Oscars.
just
Yeah.
there's no diverse movies being made.
'Cause
There's no movies being made about the story of minorities.
Yeah, and people are like, or even this, like I'll say this, that like, also this is an official podcast. I'm Indian, also. I mean, not that it matters too much, but like I'm thinking that people probably don't cast like minority or black actors for roles because they're thinking that like people won't go see them.
Well, yeah, and I love
Which isn't the case. I was about to say that. I think the industry assumes that the majority of the American population, the majority of the world population, doesn't want to see minority actors because that's not what they're used to. But in reality, it doesn't matter at all. Like if Michael B. Jordan was playing someone in The Big Short.
Yeah, if you're a good actor, I don't care.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say, you
it
should
doesn't
have-
matter.
And I love going back to with Master of None. I loved Aziz's commentary.
Yeah.
He's trying to go out for like an Indian role, and they're all just casting him as like an IT guy
All right,
who's like
this
that's
being
television.
said though, so we're all
know,
like
it's- yeah.
we're all like cool, young, hip folks, right? But like, do you know? Are there like a lot of adults from Nebraska watching Master of None? You know, like adults from
Exactly,
Nebraska are gonna turn out to see the new Bond movie. But like,
Nebraska, we're not sure the whole state has like internet, so whether they saw Master of None or
they
not,
all
I'm not
just
sure.
go to one internet cafe.
Yeah.
to,
Yeah,
like,
well, but my argument for this is that you think all these like people from Nebraska. Sorry, Nebraska.
let's stop picking on Nebraska. The entire Midwest.
Idaho.
But do you think these more, let's say, conservative older generation will
racist.
Bold.
Ageist.
But do you think they're turning out to movies because of the actors necessarily?
No, but I think
because there are some movies that people do turn out to see the actors for, because that is the point of the movie, is the acting. But I think that a lot of those older generation conservative people go to see movies for the plot of the movies.
Exactly.
But I think they might be turned off by a movie that is largely about
Like-
minorities or a minority
like
story.
straight out of Compton. Like no white dude who's 60 years old from Nebraska is gonna go see.
Except big fans
Straight Outta
of
Compton.
what's his name? Who's the guy that played their man?
Yeah, he's in
I
Billions
couldn't,
with.
I couldn't finish the punchline, but that's what the joke was.
It's okay, buddy.
Yeah.
But on top of that, what about casting
Yeah.
minority actors in roles just
You
because
would think
they're
of white
roles?
right?
Yeah.
If you put like, I'm trying to think of a movie, but like most of them are like nonfiction or like. that
Like
kind of,
Idris
for
Elba
periods.
should be Bond.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
agreed,
Yes.
100%.
And like,
What's the
So,
what's
like,
the problem
with The Martian,
they're saying
what
they
would
said he was too street.
with The Martian, what would have been wrong with, like, a black astronaut? Like,
Yeah.
nothing.
The one thing gets like maybe I guess because it's like a book, but like
Donald Glover as the Martian?
Yeah. I mean,
Donald for Spider-Man.
there was so many like there is a Spider. I mean maybe like the Marvel universe isn't going that direction, but like there's a Spider-Man like storyline. Miles
Miles Morales. He's the
Like Hispanic
Latino
black.
Also,
Spider-Man.
Can we point out that the only black superhero is named Black Panther?
Well, not the only one,
Well, like
but
the only
one of
one- the
them.
only
And now we
one who
turn
has
to
that
our
movie.
superhero expert, Reed Stiller.
But the only like one who has a major motion picture coming out.
Yeah.
I will say that's not the industry's fault. That's 1960s comics
Yeah,
books'
yeah.
fault.
Fair
which,
point.
at the
Fair.
time,
Very fair.
totally acceptable to be horribly racist. Iron Man's main villain in the comics is the Mandarin, a terribly racist Chinese
Which
person.
they somehow made more racist when they made the Iron Man movie. It's like it's actually a white guy pretending to be Chinese. Okay, but like yeah, I think we've kind of maybe killed this one, but like there's no reason why, and I really hope to see in the future that they will.
You go through these lists, and there's no minority actors.
And there's so many black actors and like minority actors I'd love to see more of that I
Yes.
just don't get to because they don't get.
Again, we
roles.
want to see more like stories
Yeah.
that involve, and maybe not even that, just minorities in regular movies.
yeah, exactly.
What if Miles Teller was a black guy in Whiplash? Like, would it change the
Right.
story? No. People would be like, it's racist because it's jazz music. But like another movie, like I don't know. I feel like there's lots of room, and I hope it changes in the future.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we did snubs, I guess. This was
Did we?
This was chip on shoulder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
That's,
I know.
I'm okay with that.
I think we all kind of want to talk about look ahead to 2016. It's
Yeah.
going to be a really big year for movies.
Yep.
Reed, calm yourself. Calm yourself.
First of all,
Can't.
let's
I
get this
can't.
out of the way. Angry Birds movie and a new Ice
I
Age.
was just gonna.
Huge year for films.
Boo.
I just, I watched the first 5 Ice Age movies, and I just couldn't stop thinking that they needed another one.
You know, I was just playing Angry Birds on my phone the other day, and I was like, what we really, really need, besides like cereal, is we just need an Angry Birds movie.
Feature length. That's what it was missing. That's what was really keeping Angry Birds from getting to the next
Yes,
level
exactly.
this whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, so besides
But-
that,
We also need a documentary behind the making of Angry Birds.
True.
That actually would be
That
kind
then
of
turns into something
interesting.
like Spotlight. But the
I
cast.
was thinking more like Heart of Darkness, where like the blue Angry Bird just spirals into a deep depression.
you guys wanted more movies with minorities in them, but if we make a documentary about people from Finland, it's gonna have to wait.
Okay, but like the cast for the Angry Birds movie: Jason Sudeikis, Peter Dinklage, Josh Gad. Like that's pretty cool.
Do you see the concept of this movie?
Stop it.
First of all, I'd like to.
Animation is cute.
No,
The animation is cute.
No.
What's the target audience of this movie?
Children,
Think of the
young
target.
children.
People that still play Angry Birds, which are young people.
I want to point out though, and I absolutely consider Angry Birds a video game. No movie based on a video game has ever worked out ever.
Assassin's Creed
Wait,
coming
wait.
out.
Assassin's Creed coming out in
Michael
2017
Fassbender.
with Michael Fassbender, not gonna work
Damn
out.
it, that was gonna be my most anticipated. Not Assassin's Creed.
Oh, that's not the one.
Warcraft.
Not
Most
gonna work out.
anticipated?
Not gonna work
For
out.
me, for me.
Most anticipated.
Because wait, let me explain. Because it could either work out.
It's gonna be so bad.
I agree,
and
it's gonna be
with it,
terrible.
If it
That's
doesn't
one
work
man's
out,
opinion.
no video game movies will be released. If it does work out, we'll start to see more of those. Like
it looks so.
All right, hold on. This is completely, slightly tangential, but like,
This whole
would
thing
any
is
of you seen would any of you have predicted esports becoming as big as they have? Like,
Yes.
so like,
Yes,
call
I would've.
me prejudiced, but like, I'm a pretty big sports guy, but I for some reason cannot get behind esports.
I can.
totally respect people who
Absolutely,
play
yeah.
video games devoutly. Like, I
watch
enjoy
esports
playing them,
tournaments.
but like,
Yeah.
I just like for some reason like. That became a huge thing. So in my mind, like, I don't understand why that became a huge thing. In my mind, video game movies could totally become a huge thing.
I'm
No,
not saying it's
they
not going to
haven't.
perform well in the box office. I'm just saying it's going to be a shit movie.
It's not even
I
about
agree.
box office. That doesn't matter. I think for video game movies, it's about like making fans happy, but also making a good movie is really hard.
Right, because you're not going to sell tickets. You're not going to sell enough tickets to make it worth it just to the people who like the video game. It has to be
for
a good
Warcraft,
movie
it could. It's like one of
objectively.
the biggest video games
It's
of all time.
it's Warcraft is more about like the culture
Yeah.
around it. And
Yeah, but
kind
I
of
bet
what
with
it's
Warcraft,
made.
there's enough Warcraft purists that they're just like a lot of people who play the game aren't going to turn out for the movie.
No, they will.
No, they will. I think
Absolutely
any
will.
single person who's
This
played the
thing's
game
gonna
will go
kill
to
the
that
box
movie.
office.
It's going to be a terrible
All
movie.
right.
It's
Yeah.
going to be a terrible
It's just
movie. It
Avatar
will
but
do well in
worse.
Boston.
Yeah. It looks. If you've seen the trailers, like it's Avatar but worse. It sucks, but like I'm really excited for it. Also, real quick, I won't read them all out, but if you're listening to this, go to the Angry Birds movie and look at that fucking cast. It's insane. I'm gonna watch the Angry Birds movie, guys, and I'm gonna hate it, but I'm gonna love. Hannibal Buress,
Jesus.
Keegan Michael Key, Danny McBride,
the
Kate
10th
McKinnon,
guy on
Bill
the credits
Hader,
is
Maya Rudolph.
Wait, hold on. I like all of these
Yeah,
people.
no, and like there's
Bill
so much
Hader.
more. I could continue reading.
Oh my
Like,
God.
it's ridiculous.
This is actually
Well, that
news
was
to
my
me.
thing for the Lego movie when it came out. I was like,
Oh my
I literally like saw the
Is that-
cast
is the
release for that
Batman
movie.
version of that coming out this year?
I don't think 2017.
Like I'm so Lego movie just did it for me. Like it's one of my favorite movies like ever. I love that movie.
I literally ran around showing everyone the cast for that movie when it got
Yeah.
released because I'm like, look at all these people.
Yeah.
These are all my favorite actors, and they're all hilarious.
That's my favorite.
But okay, so I got my most anticipated of the way. Anyone else want to throw theirs out there?
I know. So we want to kind of stay away from movies we already talked about on the pod. Read.
Sorry.
Batman v Superman doesn't count.
I know.
That's not even the one I'm most
I would've said
excited
that one, so
for.
you could direct that at me.
But I know we briefly talked about this, but my most anticipated I think is gonna be Rogue One.
Oh yeah.
I'm just really, really excited to see a Star Wars movie
That's not
that
lightsabers.
isn't a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I think
I'm really interested to see where they're gonna go with this.
Also more Poe Dameron.
Mo
Poe
Dameron.
Dameron.
Yes, amazing.
Mo Poe.
Love him. I think that's going to be a really different movie from what we've seen from other Star Wars movies, and it has the potential that it won't work out. I personally think it's going to be
Star Wars movie?
Yeah, because
Oh,
think
yeah,
about
yeah,
it this
yeah,
way. Everyone goes to see the Star Wars movies
They want
because
multiverse.
they're the Star Wars
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
This one's going to be so different than what people are used to that I don't know how well it's going to go over. But if people accept it for what it is and not necessarily as a Star Wars movie, I think it can be incredible.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, Gareth Edwards is directing.
What did he do?
He did the Godzilla movie, which wasn't big. But
I liked it.
He
Yeah.
did.
It wasn't
he did,
bad.
It wasn't
bad,
awful.
yeah.
But then he did Monsters, which was like an indie film that I loved.
I don't know.
Really good, really small.
I
film.
like that they're like not shooting. I mean, obviously they did, J.J. Abrams, but like they're giving it. They're like handing it off to like people that like could put an interesting twist on the Star Wars movie. So,
Exactly. Yeah, and I think I really want to see all of these kind of like individualized
Yeah.
and just be really different. I think it's gonna be really good. I know, again, not a visual podcast, but you just look at the poster for this movie. It looks like, I don't know, it just looks dirty and there's a really dark color tone. And I think
Yeah.
it's really cool. And a lot of these
I wouldn't
actors
expect it to
really,
be super dark though. Honestly. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. I actually think it's going to be very dark.
Oh really?
I think that the whole point of this movie coming out is that it's supposed to be vastly different from what people are used to with traditional Star Wars movies, and I think it's going to be a war movie.
Ooh, that
And
was-
that is its
I could-
intended
I could
purpose.
I would
really,
be
really
hyped for
get
this.
that.
I would. Problem is, it's in December.
Yeah.
I know.
So you have a long time to wait.
Yeah.
Also, if my number one would probably be Born, but I already talked
Yeah,
about that. I'm
yeah.
just,
I was
I'm
going to
so
bring that
hyped.
up.
Is that coming
That's
out
not
this
my
year?
number
Oh,
one.
yeah,
That is
right.
coming
Yeah,
out
that
this
is this
year.
year.
It's like June.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
So
you
hyped.
have one that's coming out soon too, right?
Oh
So-
boy, do I have
Also,
one that's coming out soon.
just sorry to interrupt, but you look at the synopsis for Jason Bourne, the plot is unknown. That's the synopsis. It comes out in 4 months. Nobody knows anything about it.
I think that's like
I love
if
that.
you're gonna do like any movie where you're just gonna be like, we're not gonna tell you any of the
I love
information
that.
until it comes out.
that's yeah. All I need to
Like-
know is it's Jason Bourne kicking ass, taking an occasional name or two. Like
Hopefully he finds out his own at some point.
I'm so hyped for that. Go on.
My most anticipated movie of the year, and this is going to sound childish until I make my point about it, Zootopia.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
This movie is going to be absolutely fantastic. Not only because, like,
You want to talk cast?
everybody, like, first of all, cast is amazing.
Yeah.
But I think, like, you look at some kids' movies, animated movies that are coming out these days, and, like, they're clearly made for kids. Zootopia is doing this differently, where this is a movie your entire family can go see because your kids are going to go and laugh at the silly jokes and the funny animals, but then the adults are going to come in and laugh at just all, like, the satire.
Dick joke.
Yeah, maybe not that, but they're gonna come and laugh at all the satire because they're making fun of society today. I don't know who's seen the trailer, but the entire trailer is
though.
sloths working at the DMV.
Right, I was gonna say,
that is hilarious.
I was not sold on Zootopia, and Reed showed me that trailer, and I
So
now I
funny.
want to see it.
Also,
I want to see it.
that cast though.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons is like the 10th cast member.
Yeah. Wait. They
I
have
love
Tommy
that
Chong
man.
in a children's movie.
Yes, that's correct.
Tommy Chong is in this movie.
Also, like Shakira just shows up. I don't know what she's doing.
Okay, let's just can we read this down?
Yes, please.
Okay, Jennifer Goodwin, she's been in TV. All right, Jason Bateman, Idris Elba, Jenny Slate, yes please, in a children's movie. All right, Nate Torrance is all right. Bonnie Hunt, Tommy Chong, Octavia Spencer. Okay, Shakira. Like I don't even like. I just want this movie now, and it's coming out soon. So like I'll get it. I'll get it soon. I'm excited. Another children's movie I think we all slept on, Finding Dory.
That is
I'm
my
not
most
excited for
anticipated.
it.
Well, you can go piss off because all right, Finding Nemo is until I saw National Treasure was my favorite film of all time, and I connected that.
Middle school demographic. Carry on.
No.
But you know what? I'm doing a damn good job. So all right, so I loved Finding. Like I connected with that movie on a spiritual level, and I have been waiting for the sequel. Also, hold on.
Do you my mom
just
too?
quick note.
Do you often touch the butt yourself?
I have been known to touch the butt. Anyway, I think that is one of the most quotable movies of all time.
Yeah.
It is. I can quote
Anchorman.
it- Yeah, well, you know what? Hold on. Let me finish my point. I can also recite almost every line from that movie, and I have been waiting for a sequel for this almost as hard as I've been waiting for a sequel for The Incredibles.
Incredibles.
Yes.
And
Oh my
we gotta
God,
think this way.
please.
Like that's what I think. Like everyone's sleeping on this. Like Finding Dory is like gonna be awesome.
Right, so I think a lot of people. I had this discussion in high school a lot. The defining movie of our generation for high school, a lot of people said was Mean Girls. This could be another podcast, but I think the defining movie of our childhood was kind of Finding Nemo
Or Toy
for a
Story.
lot
I
of
would put
us.
Toy Story.
Toy Story's out there.
Toy Story was a little early. I don't know if I
The first Toy Story was a little before our
Yeah,
time.
I don't think I saw it in theaters, but I vividly remember seeing Finding Nemo in theaters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
I
I remember
agree.
like crying when the mom died. I'm like,
So actually, when I first saw Finding Nemo, we went to theater. We showed up right after the first scene ended. And it totally changed like our entire interpretation of the movie. And I remember that from being a kid. So I don't know, just really excited. It's got Idris Elba in it, which is pretty dope.
he's in like everything this year, which is great.
It's because
didn't
he's
know-
amazing.
I didn't know I loved Idris Elba. Like I
Also,
now love Idris
Now
Elba.
featured on a Macklemore song.
Yes, right.
Like what?
Yes, there's a Macklemore song called "Dance Off" with Idris Elba and Anderson .Paak. Also, don't sleep on Anderson .Paak. Super on the come up rapper. I saw him live once.
Yeah,
He's
we
dope.
might need to talk about the Macklemore album next pod.
Well, any movie with Ty Burrell, I'm gonna go watch. But like, yeah, Idris Elba, Michael Sheen, Ellen DeGeneres. Oh, also Caitlin Olsen is gonna be one of the main characters.
What?
And she's if you guys don't know who she is, she's from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. She's Dee.
Yeah, she's an awesome
And
actress.
she's gonna be one of the main characters with Ellen DeGeneres, which that chemistry has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like, that's so good.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even as excited for the cast. Like, Finding Nemo set the bar so high, and like knowing Pixar, they're not gonna let us down. Like, it has to be as good as Finding Nemo.
Pixar has let people down.
I am not a huge Pixar fanboy,
Recently,
but like.
yeah.
The Pixar movies of my childhood really
Yeah,
set the bar
yeah.
high, and I think they know that they have a standard to meet. So I have really high hopes for Finding Dory. I've got one more movie that I'm kind of excited for. I brought up during the break that you guys weren't completely thrilled about, but I don't know if I'm excited, but I'm very interested to see Whiskey Tango Foxtrot with Tina Fey.
It's because you're a journalist.
It's because I'm a journalist. I also think that like it's very relevant and addresses some pretty kind of
Yeah.
pressing potential plot lines. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where they go with that. It absolutely could fall on its face.
I could see it being very cheesy, but it could be like kind of obviously it's not gonna be Spotlight.
Yeah.
But I could
yeah.
see
It's
it
not trying to-
kind of doing something along those lines where it still has a powerful message, but it could be very cheesy.
From watching the trailer, it looks like it's going to be funny, but it looks like it's very aware that it can't push it. Like to me, it knows that it can't be cheesy. I mean, I'm not a huge Tina Fey person, but I like some of her work from the past.
That's the
I
problem.
really like the subject matter.
I feel like you have to be a Tina Fey person to enjoy this. I love Tina Fey, but I see this movie, and you have the Tina Fey aspects of like, you know, like obviously like very very smart, like put together woman. Doesn't like too independent, so she doesn't have like a man. Finds a man on the job. They do some stuff like happens on the field. She has to report. Like I don't know. It's just like I want to see this movie. I almost want to see it like more done in like a Zero Dark 30 kind of sense.
Yeah.
Well, I think but that's a totally different thing.
That's a totally different thing. Yeah.
For me, like
Well, that's why I'm not like
I'm pretty well aware that this movie's not going to win an Oscar, but like
It's not trying to.
I think it's a really interesting subject matter, and like if you're gonna give like a movie about war journalism is like kind of pressing, and if you want to make it comedic, you gotta give it to someone as talented and as respected as Tina Fey.
Yeah,
I don't
she's
think
perfect for this.
that's the only reason I think it's not gonna totally fall on its face. That being said, I still have very realistic expectations. It could suck. It could totally suck.
See, when I saw the trailer for this, I immediately jumped to the HBO show The Brink, which is Jack Black's show.
Yeah.
Which is garbage. That show is awful. And the fact that I immediately associated that trailer with that show is not a good sign.
Yeah.
Catering to the more art-based audience, I'm going to go with some lesser-known films that I'm excited for. The Lobster was a Sundance film.
Hit me up with the deets.
Colin Farrell, incredible actor.
I've heard of him.
Very good.
Colin Farrell's very hit or miss on his roles.
Incredible actor. In Bruges, fantastic movie. Fantastic movie. But so this, I'll give a little synopsis because I don't think many people know about this. Basically, there's this like secluded house where people can go to find love. And after a certain amount of time, if you don't find like a soulmate, you turn into an animal of your choosing.
Yep.
Hold on.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so
yes.
Emphasis on the H. What?
Very strange, but it looks really fascinating, and I think it has something to say about like society nowadays with like online dating and like kind of like
The Tinder generation.
yes, exactly. But it looks really intriguing and really funny.
Yeah.
I forget who's the supporting actor, but something along the lines of Jonah Hill. I forget who exactly it is. I don't know if you want to look this up real quick.
I have it up. I'm not even sure. There's so many like. Is it? I don't know.
I don't know. But it looks really intriguing. Another one, late in the year, The Founder. It just
That has
it's Michael Keaton's
Michael
next
Keaton,
film. So
yeah.
basically, like after his last two films, you really have to like. This is probably gonna be like really.
His last two
good.
films have been such good.
Yeah. Also, Keanu,
Yeah. So
Yeah,
excited for
it
Keanu.
does look quite good.
Oh my gosh.
diverging from the art aspect.
Yeah. Oh, but
looks very
Night
good.
of Cups.
That looks really trippy.
Yeah, it looks trippy.
Yeah. Also, High Rise.
Oh,
Looks
yeah.
really
High Rise
trippy
looks
with Loki.
very cool.
Its trailer was bad though.
It was great,
The only
but
reason I didn't like the trailer was because it literally told you nothing.
Yeah, I'm
It
like,
looks
what is
intriguing.
going on?
Visually though, it was very appealing.
Yeah. Night of Cups, I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
Of all the artsy movies, that's what I really want to see.
Yeah. And then I know you were looking forward to maybe like BFG.
Oh my god, yes. I'm very excited that they're making a BFG movie.
Everyone's gonna go watch that too.
Yeah.
I think like people are gonna enjoy that.
I think if they execute that properly,
See,
it
I
could be
think
incredible.
it's
Because
Spielberg,
it's
you-
going to be tough to execute properly. Because the whole thing, I mean, that's Roald Dahl, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the whole thing with Roald Dahl things is you're supposed to feel like really unsettled, right?
Yeah.
Because I did. Maybe I was looking at this
No,
wrong.
no,
but
I
like-
did too. Yeah.
But like, also, you have to keep in mind the target audience. Like, you don't want to creep kids out of their
No,
minds.
the
but,
target
like,
audience might be older people because like
Those are the ones
I
who
don't
have
think-
read
yeah,
the
I don't
Roald
think-
Dahl
but like, no,
books.
to me, Roald Dahl books are still relevant to read as kids.
Oh no, absolutely. But I think
probably. But,
They're no Harold and the Purple Crayon.
but I think you could like if you're going for box office, you could be fine catering it to like literally anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mass appeal movie, no matter how you slice it.
Also, Bill Hader is one of the Giants, so
Nice.
yeah.
yeah.
Bill Hader has been doing some like cool stuff lately.
But it's like
I think
always.
he's a fantastic
it's always, like,
actor. He's
voice acting,
hilarious.
which is a shame because he did BB-8. Like he was part of BB-8.
Trainwreck.
He was a part of BB-8.
Yeah, which is really cool. Oh yeah, Trainwreck. He was good in Trainwreck.
It was weird seeing him not be funny, but I did enjoy Trainwreck.
I think he was still funny in Trainwreck just because it was Bill Hader.
Yeah.
And just like looking at him trying to be that guy.
It's like Ty Burrell. Like if
Yeah.
I were trying to take Ty Burrell, dude was in what Black Hawk Down, right?
Yeah.
Like am I supposed to take that seriously?
It's like in the new one about Benghazi. You got Jim from The Office, and
Was
I'm
it-
like, Jim, Pam still needs you. You can't die.
What is it called? Like something
13
seconds?
hours.
13 hours? Yeah, 13 hours. Did that come out already? It did.
Yeah, it didn't get great reviews.
Thank God. That
Yes,
movie looks
thank
so shitty. Like,
I
it's-
think I remember seeing the trailer for that and just counting the number of explosions.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys know who the director
Michael
was?
Bay.
I remember seeing, like, first I saw Michael Bay, and I saw explosions, and then I saw, like, yes, we have John Krasinski in it, which I love John
Great
Krasinski.
guy.
But what was such a red flag for me, John Krasinski, mustache, no dialogue.
Yeah.
Every single time there was a shot of him, there was no dialogue.
It's
He's so
gonna be like-
sexy though. He doesn't need
It's
it.
just gonna be him calling home to Pam. Like,
Babe, I'm about to go into battle right now with my sweet mustache. I'm about to die.
It's not just a mustache, Avik. It's a beard. He looks grizzled.
No, I
Also,
feel-
just in case we needed to take any validity away from Ty Burrell, serious validity, great actor still. His character in Finding Dory is named Bailey the Beluga. So
Hell yeah. Also,
hyped.
John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, maybe my favorite celebrity,
I love.
couple.
Yeah, I love Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
You know what I think is great about John?
Sicario, did she get any nods for Sicario?
No, she did not. She was good. I'll say she was really good, but I don't think she was like Oscar level.
Yeah.
I think she needed to take it like one notch up. But
I like Emily Blunt.
she's really.
She'll
good.
probably.
I think she elevated like Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see what.
I haven't seen her in any
she's gonna
like.
get.
Oh wait, she's on The Girl on the Train. Anyways,
Girls Train, some of my
she's got some
favorite
movies
movies.
coming up that like we could see more of her.
Yeah, no, but definitely 2016 is gonna be a really, really big year.
Yeah, I'm excited, guys.
I'm really excited.
Maybe I'll watch a movie this year. I have to pick which one will be my yearly movie.
It's gonna be Finding Dory.
It'll be Finding Dory. It'll absolutely be Finding Dory, unless National Treasure 3 comes out.
Oh, please cross your fingers. I'm
Okay, I will say International Treasure 2, such a cliffhanger. They walk away with the book and the president, and they're just like, let's go solve some more mysteries, and then nothing happened.
I'm excited. They're probably gonna like try
learned-
London Has Fallen with like. Nick
Oh,
Cage.
See, I
stop.
learned
No.
after the end of Incredibles, I learned how to be disappointed. I learned.
Yeah. That's coming out like. They just started writing the script like last year. Like
I
it's gonna
need
be
that
so long until we
movie
get that
more
movie.
than anything else in the
I
whole
just don't
world
understand.
ever.
It must have been some sort of like change in like leadership at Pixar or something. But like, why was there not like a sequel getting
Was
started?
there
immediately
a
after?
writer's strike like immediately after that film or some crap?
must have
Because like
been.
there's no reason.
Yeah.
Because that movie knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, all these movies are getting remade,
Yeah.
and they didn't do Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
Like-
Speaking of
like,
remakes,
which
so
in the
had
time-
one
legitimate
that Greek Wedding
cliffhanger.
too?
It had a
In the
legitimate
time
cliffhanger.
that we made 3 more Ice Age films,
Yeah.
Incredibles did not get a sequel.
Such a
We're also getting another Toy Story movie, but whatever.
For real?
yeah.
You take what you
Unnecessary.
Okay, well that was great, guys. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed.
I really had
I had a
good time.
blast.
Yeah.
What a time.
It's almost
So-
like we're all friends or something.
So we'll definitely have to find another significant event.
Yeah.
And have another roundtable. We'll do it.
Maybe like some sports event. I don't know.
Yeah, one every 2 months. I'd say is fair.
I can get down with
Yeah.
that.
But I know we're premiering Chain Gourmet next week, where Reed reviews some mediocre chain restaurants, and we're
I'm
gonna.
still advocating for a live show from a chain restaurant.
Oh,
I think we all go to Red Lobster, plop the mic down in the middle of the table, and review. Maybe we could go during Shrimp Fest.
We could,
true.
but I know we need to find some roles for Alex. He could do some voiceover stuff.
Along with movies, we have a lot of stuff to
Yeah.
anticipate this year.
So yeah, we're really excited.
I'd like to lend my talents to something that is not movies I haven't seen at some point.
We can have like a really underground hip hop pod.
Sure.
You know, we dabble,
There's a
so
lot of new sounds coming out of the pantry.
There are, yes.
All right, well we gotta
So-
end this. We can go watch Deadpool, man.
Yes,
Yes,
we do.
Next week we'll be doing Deadpool. Finally, some NBA. I know it's been way too
Yeah.
long, and then maybe touch on the Macklemore album. I have a couple thoughts.
I got some thoughts.
Don't love it, but I mean,
We'll
talk
get to
about
that.
it. We'll get to it. So thank you guys so much. Sorry for the break, but we got some good stuff coming.